Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and today is 13th February 2022. Right now, I am with the 11th Cambridge class, and the subject we are studying is Physics 5054. This is Cambridge O Levels Physics, and the code is 5054. Today, we have set our hearts to solve paper one. The paper one is related with the MCQs. Today we have selected October, November 2021 1-2 paper. This paper one belongs from the zone 2, or we call it the variant 2. The time allowed for this paper is 1 hour, and there will be 40 MCQs, and you have to attempt all of them. So let's start today's paper. And so today we have selected October, November 2021 1-2 paper. Before starting this paper, I would like to thank my students who are helping me to solve these papers. Special thanks to Fatma Zia, Tayyiba Azim, Amina Kayum, Miral Bashir, Manur Bashir, and Zainab Farooq. So thank you very much to all my students who are helping me to solve these papers and to upload them in the YouTube channel. So thank you very much, and let's start today's paper. So the question number one is showing up on your screen. A boy starts at P and walks 3 meter due north from the P to the Q, and then 4 meter due east from Q to R. What is the shortest distance that he must now walk to have an overall displacement of 0? For overall displacement to be 0, the boy should reach from where he started. If your starting and finish point is the same point, then your distance, your displacement will be 0. So the boy at the end of the journey is at the point R, and he should reach P. So let me show you from here. Let me explain to you. Okay, so he has moved 3 meter due north, and then the 4 meter due east. So now he's here. If he wants to have 0 displacement, he should be here. So the shortest distance is 5 meters. So the shortest distance is 5 meter. So let's check. 5 meter. Do we have that option? Yeah, we have this option. So I think C is the choice. Question number one, let's check. Yes, C is the right choice. A student investigates the motion of a ball falling through air. Which quantity is a vector? The diameter of the ball, its length, it's a scalar quantity. The gravitational force on the ball, that's a vector quantity because it has direction. So B is a vector quantity. The gravitational force is a vector quantity. The distance from which the ball is dropped, that's length, and that is distance, and that is scalar. The speed at which the ball hits the ground, that is a scalar. So we think that B is the right choice. Question number 2, B is the choice. Let's check. Question number 2, B is the right choice. Okay, so the next question coming up on your screen, he says, a skier slides down a slope. The diagram shows how his speed varies with time. So here we have a speed time graph. On the y-axis, the speed is represented. On the x-axis, time is represented. Time is in seconds. The speed is in meter per second. And that's the graph. Okay, so the question is, what is the average acceleration during the 6 seconds? So the initial speed is 0. The final speed is 26. The time taken is 6. So I can calculate the acceleration. The formula is very simple. You remember, change in the velocity divided by the time. So here on your screen, you can see initial velocity is 0 meter per second. The final velocity is 26 meter per second. The time taken is 6 seconds. So the acceleration will be final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. 26 minus 0 divided by 6. So 26 by 6 equals to 13 by 3, and that is 4.3 meter per second square. Acceleration is 4.3 meter per second square. 4.3 meter per second square. Let's check. 4.3 meter per second square. So we think that B is the choice for question number 3. B is the choice for question number 3. B is the choice for question number 3. Okay. A solid object immersed in water hangs from an elastic thread. Three forces act on the object: its weight W, the tension in the thread T, and a force F from the water. The force F acts upward. This is the upthrust of the water, that's in the upward direction. Which equation is correct when the object is stationary? So which equation is correct when the object is stationary? Because the object is stationary, so all the forces are balanced. Let me show you. I have made it. Okay. So the tension in the thread will be in the upward direction. The upthrust of the water is also in the upward direction. The weight is in the downward direction. So the sum of the upward and the downward forces should be 0. So it should be like T plus F minus W should be 0. F minus W plus T is the same thing. F minus W plus T equals to 0. Remember this number. F minus W plus T equals to 0. F minus W plus T equals to 0. So I think D is the right answer. I think D is the right answer. Okay, so question number 4, D is the right answer, sir. Question number 4, D is the right answer. The diagram shows a car going around a circular track at constant speed. Which arrow shows the direction of the resultant force on the car? Whenever you move in a circular track, there is a resultant force on the body, and that is called centripetal force, and that always keeps the body in the circular path. And that resultant force or the centripetal force is always directed towards the center of the circle. It is always directed towards the center of the circle. So I think the arrow which is showing towards the center of the circle is D. So question number 5, D is the answer, and we are right. An object in a laboratory is used to determine the gravitational field strength G. Which quantity is equals to G? So here different formulae are given. Let me show you my. Okay. So you know that weight is equals to mg. So if you make G the subject of the formula will become G equals to W by M. So G is weight divided by mass. G is weight divided by mass. G is weight divided by mass. So I think C is the right answer. Weight divided by mass. Question number 6, I think C is the right answer. Yeah, C is the right answer. A student takes measurements to find the density of a regularly shaped block. Which formula is used to calculate the density of the block? The density of the block is mass divided by volume. This is a fact. The density is mass divided by volume. So I think A is the choice. Question number 7, A is the right choice. Okay. 4 solid objects are made from the same material and have equal volumes. Which object is the most stable? The most stable will be that whose base area is larger and whose center of mass is lowest. So I think D is the right answer. Its base area is largest and its center of mass is closest to the ground. So question number 8, D is the right answer. Yes, sir. A metal wire is stretched by a force F up to the limit of proportionality. Which statement describes what happens when F is increased slightly? When you cross the limit of proportionality, the wire starts to extend, and but that extension is not no more directly proportional to the force. So the wire breaks. No, the wire continues to extend, but not in directly proportional to F. Yes, this is the statement. The wire continues to extend in direct proportion to F. No, when you cross the limit of proportionality, the extension and the force, they are no more directly proportional to each other. The wire does not extend any further. No, 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 it extends. So I think B is the right answer, sir. Question number 9, B is the right answer. Yes. Piston X is pushed into a cylindrical hydraulic cylinder. Piston X produces a pressure Px in the liquid in the cylinder. The diagram shows the cylinder viewed from the above. There are two other pistons, Y and Z, in the cylinder. The pressures on the piston Y and the Z are Py and Pz. What is the relationship between Px, Py, and the Pz before we go to the options? Let me tell you that according to the Pascal's principle, the pressure in the hydraulic press is same in all the directions. So whatever is the pressure created by the piston X, same pressure is transmitted to the piston Y and to the piston Z. So the pressure in all everywhere in that cylinder will be same. So I think D is the right choice according to my concept. According to the Pascal's principle, the pressure in the oil will be same in all points. So D is the right choice. Yeah, D is the right choice. Air is trapped in a cylinder by a piston. The pressure of the air is P and the length of the air column is 20 centimeter. The piston is moved outwards. The length of the air column increases by 40 centimeter. The temperature of the air remains constant. You know, we are talking about air, which is gas, and we are saying that the temperature do not change. We have changed the volume. So the Boyle's law will be applicable. According to the Boyle's law, P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Pressure and the volume, they are inversely proportional to each other. So the product of the pressure and the volume remains constant. That's why we use the formula P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Okay, so now let me show you my solution to this question. So P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. P1 suppose is P, the cross-sectional area of the tube is A, the length is L1. You know, the volume will be area, cross-sectional area multiply length. So the P2 will be P2, we want to find out. V2 will be the cross-sectional area multiply the length 2. The area and the area on both the sides will be cancelled. Area and the area on the both the sides will be cancelled because in both the situations, the cross-sectional area is the same area. So that's why we can cancel it. So the P multiply the length 1 is 20 centimeter equals to P2. I want to find out. The length 2 is 60. Make the P2 subject of the formula. So the 60 will go on the other side and it will divide. So the P2 will be 20P by 60. So cancel, cancel. 0 will be cancelled. So you will have 1 by 3P. So the P2 will be 1/3 of the P. 1/3 of the P. So now let's go to the question again. So what is the new pressure? It will be 1/3 of the P. I think B is the right answer. Question number 11, B is the right answer, sir. Question number 12. A 60 kg ice skater traveling initially at 3 meters per second glides across a horizontal icy surface. The skater breaks and comes to rest after 5 minutes. The work done against the braking force is the change in the kinetic energy of the skater. What is the braking force? You know, the change in the kinetic energy. Initially, we can find the kinetic energy, that the formula for the kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mv square. When he was moving with the speed of the 3 meter per second, his mass is 60 kg. I can find the kinetic energy. The formula is 1 by 2 mv square. At the end, the speed becomes zero. He comes to rest. The speed becomes zero, so the kinetic energy will become zero. It took 5 minutes. So we have to find out what is the braking distance. So very easy question. So the work done against the braking force is the change in the kinetic energy of the skater. Okay, what is the braking distance? So let me show you my solution. Okay, so initial kinetic energy will be 1 by 2 mv square equals to 1 by 2 into 60 kg into 3 meter and meter per second and its square. So it will be 270 joules. So the work done will be the change in the kinetic energy. So the change in the final kinetic energy is zero. Initial kinetic energy is 270 joules. So it will be 270 joules. So work done, you know, is force multiplied the distance, and the distance covered is 5 meter. So F will be 5 multiply 5 equals to F multiply 5 will be 270. So F will be 270 divided by 5, and that will be 54 Newton. So the work, the force applied is 54 Newton, 54 Newton, 54 Newton. So I made a mistake when I read this number. I said it's minutes, whereas it is breaks and comes to rest after 5 meter. By mistake, I said 5 minute. It's 5 meter. Note it down. I made a mistake. I said 5 minutes. It is 5 meter. So I think question number 12, C part, question number 12, C part, CC. Yes, that's the right option, sir. Which equation is used to find the efficiency of an energy transfer? The efficiency is useful output energy divided by the total energy input. Useful energy output divided by the total energy input. I think A is the right answer, sir. A is the right answer. It looks to me. Okay. The formula for the efficiency is useful energy output divided by the total energy input. That's the formula for the efficiency. Question number 13. A is the right choice, sir. The diagram shows inside of a refrigerator. When the refrigerator is first switched on, what happens to the air near the cooling unit? So the air near the cooling unit, it will cool down. When it cools down, its molecules come close to each other and the density increases, so the cool air goes down. So the molecules of this air, they move close together and the density increases. So I think D is the right choice. This is what will happen. Question number 14, I think D is the right answer, sir. D choice. What is the color and what is the texture of a good absorber of the infrared radiation? Infrared radiation. And the good absorber should be of the black color and it should be dull. Black and dull. I think B is the right choice. Question number 15. Let's check. B is the right choice, sir. Which temperatures are used as the lower and upper fixed points for a mercury in glass thermometer? You know, the lower fixed point is the temperature of the melting ice, and that is 0 degrees centigrade. And the upper fixed point is the is the temperature of the steam coming out of the boiling water. So it is the freezing point of the water and the boiling point of the water. I think B is the right option, sir. Question number 16, I think B is the right option. Yeah. Two liquid in glass thermometers have identical dimensions. One contains ethanol and the other an equal volume of the mercury. Ethanol expands more than mercury for the same temperature rise. How do the sensitivity and the range of ethanol thermometer compares to those of the mercury thermometers? So the one who expands more will be more sensitive and its range will be smaller. The one who expands more, the one thermometer who has the liquid ethanol, which expands more than the mercury, the ethanol thermometer will be more sensitive and its range will be smaller. So the sensitivity of the ethanol thermometer will be greater and its range will be smaller. So I think B is the right answer, sir. B should be the answer. Question number 17. So let's check. B is the right answer, sir. Solar panels are used to heat water with a mass of 500 kg. The total area of the solar panels is 10 meter square, and the average power output from each square meter of the panel is 300 watt. The specific heat capacity of the water is 4200 joules per kg per degree centigrade. What is the increase in the water temperature after 8 hours? Assume there is no heat loss. Okay, so 1 meter square area produces 300 watt. So 10 meter square area will produce 10 multiply 300, that will be 3000 watts. And you have operated that system for 8 hours. So we can calculate how much energy is produced, and then we can tell that how much is the change in the temperature of the water, 500 kg water we have. So let me show you. I have done this numerical, a very easy peasy numerical. So the power produced will be 1 meter square produces 300 watt. So 10 meter square will produce 10 multiplied 300, that will be 3000 watt. Heat produced will be power multiplied time, but the time must be taken in seconds. So 3000 power multiply 8 because 8 hours multiply 3600. I want to convert that hours into seconds. So the final answer will be 8640000 joules. So heat will be equals to when the temperature rises, we use the formula heat is equals to mc delta theta. Delta theta, change in temperature, will be heat divided by m divided by c. So 8640000 divided by 500 divided by 4200 equals to, and the change in the temperature will be 41.1 degree. 41.1 degree. 41.1 degree. So let's check. Do we have that option? 41.1. Yeah, D is the right choice. So question number 18, D looks the right option, sir. Question number 18, D is the right option. The graph is the temperature time graph for a sample of wax that is heated so that it melts. The mass of the wax is 200 gram. Thermal energy is supplied to the wax at a constant rate of 12,000 joules per minute. What is the specific latent heat of fusion of the wax? Okay, so the wax was changing the state from 3 minutes, from here it started, and up to 7. So the time taken, 7 minus 3 is 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, the whole of the wax has melted. So 200-gram wax took 4 minutes to melt. So the power supplied or power extracted from it, power supplied is 12,000 joules per minute. So in 4 minutes, how much energy is supplied? So very easily I can tell you this. Okay. So the time in which the wax was melting is from 3 minutes to 7 minutes. So it took 4 minutes. Energy is power multiplied time. The power is 12,000 joules in one minute. So in 4 minutes there will be 48,000 joules. And heat is ml. When the state is changing, then we use the formula heat is equals to m, where heat is the heat which is absorbed or given. M is the mass of that thing, and L is the specific latent heat of fusion. So the L will be equals to heat divided by M. So 48,000 joules divided by 200 grams. So 240 joules per gram. 240 joules per gram. 240 joules per gram. That's the answer. So let's check 240. Do we have that? Yeah, 240 joules per gram. That's the B option. So let's check. We do 19B. 19's B. Okay, we are right. The temperatures of the water in 4 beakers are different, and areas of the surfaces of the water are also different. In which beaker is the rate of evaporation of the water greatest? You know, the rate of evaporation of the water depends upon the few things. For the more the temperature of the water, the faster will be the rate of evaporation. And so the temperature should be highest possible, and the surface area should be largest. The larger the surface area of the water, the largest will be the rate of evaporation. So I think largest temperature, highest temperature, and largest surface area. So I think D is the right choice. Question number 20. Yeah, D is the right choice, sir. The diagram shows one wavefront of a wave as it travels from deep water to shallow water in a ripple tank. So here we have the shallow water. This is the wavefront, and this is the deep water. So it entered here, so you can see this. What happens as the wavefronts move into the shallow water? When the water waves enter the shallow water, their speed decreases. Their speed decreases. So when their speed decreases, their wavefronts come close to each other. Their wavefronts come close to each other, the wavelength decreases, and the frequency remains unchanged. So remember this thing. When the water waves enter into the shallow water, their speed decreases, their wavelength decreases, their frequency do not change. So the option we have, the speed of the wavefront increases. That's wrong. The speed of the wavefront decreases. That's right. The wavelength of the wave remains constant. That's wrong. The wavelength of the wave increases. That's wrong. So the best option here is the speed of the wavefront decreases. This is the right answer, sir. Let me show you the whole question. Now you can, I think the B is the choice. Question number 21. B is the right choice, sir. Which example describes a transverse wave being refracted? So infrared, yes, infrared is a transverse wave traveling in an optical fiber. So here the refraction do not takes place in the optical fiber. In the optical fiber, the process of total internal reflection takes place. Light is in transverse wave, and he says light waves from an object entering a magnifying glass. Yes, here the refraction will take place because the light will enter into a different medium. Then he says ultrasound waves being used to clean jewelry. Ultrasounds are longitudinal waves, they are not transverse waves. Water waves hitting a barrier. The water waves, when they hit a barrier, water waves are transverse waves, but when they hit a barrier, They are reflected, not refracted. So I think the light waves from an object entering a magnifying glass is a good example of the transverse waves refracted. So I think B is the right answer. Question number 22. B is the right answer. Yes, that's right. Okay, so let's move to the next question. He says, light reflects from a plane mirror as shown. Which row is always correct? You see this X is the angle of refraction. Y is the angle of incidence. The angle of incidence and the angle of reflection should be always equal. So the X is the angle of reflection, that should be R, and X and Y should be equal. I think the C is the right option. Question number 23, C looks the right option. Yes, that's right. A piece of paper torn from an torn from an exercise book is shown. It says the object is further away from the lens than the focal point and the image is upside down. So a real image is being formed, it's inverted. So which process is being described? The formation of virtual image by a diverging lens? No. The formation of a virtual image by a converging lens? No. Formation of a real image by a diverging lens? No. The formation of a real image by a converging lens? Yes. Yes, that's true. D is the best option. Because when your image is upside down, it means it's a real image. And the real image is only formed by the converging lens. 24D is the choice. A girl is long-sighted. Which statement is correct? Whenever somebody is long-sighted, he can see the distant objects clearly, but the objects which are close to his eyes, he is not able to see them clearly as compared to a normal person. So she sees close objects less clearly than a person with the normal vision. That is the right statement, sir. This is called long-sighted. She sees distant objects more clearly that clearly than a person with a normal vision. That is not right. She sees the distant objects clearly, but you cannot say more than a person with the normal vision. That's not right. The fault is corrected with a diverging lens. That's wrong. The fault is corrected by using a converging lens. The long-sighted people, their eye correction is done with the converging lens. The image of the close object is formed in front of her retina. That's wrong. So A is the best option. Question number 25. A is the right option. Yes, that's the right option. So light rays are deviated by a prism. So the light enters here, it's deviated from its original track. When it comes out, it's further deviated. The deviation angle D is measured for light rays of different frequency, including blue light and the red light. Which graph of the D against the frequency is correct? You know, the frequency of the blue color is more as compared to the frequency of the red color. So the blue one has more frequency as compared to the red one, and it deviates also more. You remember the code of the colors here? That is Roy G. Biv. So the blue bands give this larger deviation. So the blue should have higher frequency and larger deviation. So I think D is the right option, sir. The blue should have the larger frequency and it should have a larger deviation. So D is the right option, sir. Question number 26, D is the right option. Yes, that's right. A satellite orbits the Earth at a height of 300 kilometers above the surface. The speed of electromagnetic waves is 3 expo 8 meter per second. What is the minimum time taken for a radio signal transmitted from the Earth to reach the satellite? So it's distance divided by time, distance divided by speed. Distance divided by speed. Okay, so let me show you. Distance is 300 kilometer, which means you multiply it with 1000. So it will be 300,000 meter. Speed is 3x per 8 meter per second. So the time will be distance divided by speed. So it will be 3x per 5 divided by 3x per 8. So it will be 1x per minus 3 seconds. 1x per minus 3 seconds. 1x per minus 3 seconds. So let me show you. 1x per minus 3 seconds. So I think C is the right choice. Question number 27. C is the right choice, sir. Which of the following is most closely associated with echoes? So echoes are basically the reflected, the sound waves which have been reflected from a rigid surface. We call them echoes. So I think reflection. 28. B choice. Yeah, you're right. An ultrasound scanner produces an image of an unborn baby. What does the scanner use to form an image of the baby? We send ultrasounds, and the ultrasounds are reflected from the baby, and by using the computer, we are able to make the image of the baby. So what does the scanner use to form an image of the baby? Ultrasound absorbed by the baby? No. Ultrasounds emitted by the baby? No. Ultrasound reflected by the baby? Yes. The ultrasounds which are reflected by the baby. And ultrasounds refracted by the baby? No. So I think C is the choice. Question number 29. Question number 29. C is the choice. Yes, that's right. A small plotting compass is placed near to a bar magnet as shown. Which diagram shows the direction in which the compass needle point? You know, compass needle points, compass needle always align itself with the magnetic lines in that area. So here the magnetic lines are going from north to south. So here the pointer should be pointing towards the south. So I think A is the right choice. Magnetic compass needle always align itself along with the magnetic lines. So in this situation, the magnetic lines are going from north to south. So the magnetic needle must point along these magnetic lines. So I think A is the right choice. Question number 30. A is the right choice, sir. A positively charged plastic rod is held near but not touching an insulated and positively uncharged metal ball. No charge leaves the rod. What are the possible charges on the left hand side and on the right hand side of the ball? This metal bar on the left side, a negative charge should appear, and on the right side, positive charge will appear. So the left side will be negative, the right side will be positive. The charge on both the sides of the sphere will be, or the metal ball will be same. So I think the best option with the correct signs is C. The left side will be negative and the right side will be positive, and both the charge values will be same. The magnitudes will be same. So I think C is the right choice. Yeah. Which circuit is connected to measure the current in the fixed resistor and potential difference across the same resistor? So if you want to find out the voltage drop, you put a resistor parallel to the fixed resistor. If you want to find out how much current is flowing, then you connect the ammeter in series with the fixed resistor. In the circuit, normally we also put a variable resistor to reduce the amount of current. so that it cannot damage our instruments. So I think the A is the best option. Question number 32. A is the right option, sir. Quantity X and quantity Y have the same unit, Z. X is the energy dissipated by a battery in driving unit charge around the complete circuit. So X is basically so X is EMF, electromotive force. Y is the work done in a component in driving unit charge through the component. Okay. So Y is the work done in a component in driving unit charge through the component. So Y is basically the potential difference. Y is basically the potential difference. And Z, both these quantities are measured in the volt. So I think B is the right option, sir. Question number 33, B looks the right option. 33B is the right option, sir. So a transformer with an efficiency of 100% has a primary voltage input of 600 volt and a secondary voltage output of 240 volt. The secondary coil is attached to a resistor of resistance 120 ohm. What is the power dissipated in the resistor and what is the current in the primary coil? So you can see here in the secondary side, I have the resistor, I have the voltage drop. I can calculate how much is the current here. Once I know the current here, I can calculate the power here. Power is IV. Let me show you my solution. So V will be equals to IR on the secondary side. I2 in the secondary side will be V2 by R2. So 240 volt divided by 120 ohms, so 2 ampere. So the current in the secondary coil will be 2 ampere. So power in the secondary side will be P equals to I square R. So P will be equals to 2 square multiply 120 and that will be 480 watt. So the power in the secondary coil will be 480 watt. And we know a formula, Vp by Vs is equal to Is by Ip. So Ip will be equals to Is multiply Vs divided by Vp. Just put the values 2 multiply 240 divided by 600 and you will get 0.8 ampere. So the current in the primary coil is 0.8 ampere. Hopefully you understand how this numerical is done. So I think this is the option. Okay, so for the question number 34, C looks the best option, sir. C is the right option. The diagram shows an alarm system in which the switch S is shown closed. The top circuit is arranged so that the electromagnet is positioned over the soft iron contact. What happens when the switch S is opened? If you will open the switch S, this electromagnet will be no more electromagnet. It will lose its magnetism. So this iron contact will fall down and it will contact here with this metal and this bell will start ringing. So the iron contact will drop and the bell will ring. A is the choice. So I think question number 35A is the choice. Question number 35A is the right choice, sir. The diagram shows an LED connected in a circuit with a resistor and an AC power supply of the frequency 2 hertz. So which statement is correct? The LED does not light. The frequency is 2 hertz. So it means in 1 second, the direction of the current will change 2 times. It means that in 1 second, the 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 current will change its direction 2 times. So the LED will lit and then it will not lit twice in 1 second. So the LED does not light, that's wrong. The LED flashes on twice each second and off twice each second. Yes, that's right. The LED flashes on 4 times each second and 4 times. No, the LED stays on all the times. Yes, here, this is the right answer. Question number 36. It looks that the B is the right answer. Yeah, B is the right answer, sir. Which statement about the production of electricity in a nuclear power station is correct? In the nuclear power station, the process of fission takes place, and for that we bombard the uranium atoms with the neutrons. So, in the reactor, the main reaction occurs when protons hit uranium nuclei. That's wrong. The process taking place in the reactor is called nuclear fission. That is also wrong. Nuclear fission takes place. The reactor produces energy to boil water and to produce steam. That is true. That is the basic function. Carbon dioxide is the major waste products from the reactor. That is wrong. So I think C is the right answer. Question number 37. Let's check. C is the right answer, sir. A radioactive sample contains an isotope that emits alpha particles. Which quantity stays constant? The half-life of the isotope, yes, half-life will remain constant. The mass of the sample, no. The number of neutrons in the sample, no. The rate of decay of isotope, no. So I think the half-life remains the constant. So 38A looks the right option, sir. Question number 38. Let's check. 38A is the right answer. In the simple model of an atom, X orbits around Y. So what are X and Y? X is your electrons and Y is your nucleus. Electron and the nucleus, I think A is the best wording. This nucleus and the proton's wrong. That's wrong. Okay. Electron and the nucleus. X is the electron and the Y is the nucleus. Question number 39. A is the right choice. Yes, that's right. How do the proton number, atomic number, and the nucleon number, mass number of two different isotopes of the same element compare with each other? The proton number in the isotopes is same and the nucleon number is different. So I think C is the right option, sir. The proton number is same, but the nucleon number is different. So question number 40, let's check. Question number 40, C is the choice. What choice we have taken? C is the right choice. So, my dear students, we are done with 40 questions. So this paper is completed. My dear students, today we have done October, November 2021 1-2 paper. We call it paper 1. It was paper related with the MCQs. I have tried my best to explain you the questions. I hope that this video will help you to improve your MCQs skills. So thank you very much, everybody, for taking out the time to watch my video. If you like this video and you think that this video can help you, it can help your friends, do share the link of this video onto your Facebook accounts and onto your Instagram account, onto your Twitter accounts. Also like this video and also subscribe my channel, because when you subscribe my channel, that is like oxygen to me. So keep helping me to promote my channel and keep learning. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day. God bless you all.